He thought he was untouchable. Viral fame, ripped physique, millions of views. Vitaly was the internet's reckless golden boy. But now, he's sitting in a foreign prison, stripped of his clout, his muscle, and maybe even his future. And this isn't just a case of a YouTuber getting canceled. It's deeper than that. He didn't just lose followers. He may have accidentally helped rewrite an entire country's law. From shredded to shriveled, from live streams to legal nightmares, this is the story of how Vitaly's chaos went too far, and how the Philippines decided they were done playing games. Because once you hit rock bottom in a foreign country, there's no script, no edit, no easy way out. Vitaly didn't just fall off, he detonated on the way down. What started as just another IRL stunt spiraled into something much bigger. Loud, reckless, and desperate for attention, he brought his chaotic brand of content to the streets of the Philippines. And it backfired in the worst way possible. Instead of going viral, he went too far. Locals weren't laughing. Officials weren't impressed. And within weeks, he was no longer just the YouTuber acting out. He was a full-blown legal problem, caught filming strangers without consent, mocking people in public, and turning real lives into clickbait. It wasn't just annoying. It was illegal. And that's when the system stepped in. They didn't just give him a slap on the wrist. They put him on lockdown. At first, it didn't seem that serious. Vitaly was being held in an immigration facility, basically jail light. Think concrete bunk beds, weak food, and guards who don't care about your subscriber count, but he wasn't in real prison. Yet. That changed on June 11th. The Bureau of Immigration handed him over to the BJMP, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. And that's not just a change of address. That's a downgrade to hard mode. Why? Because Vitaly's no longer just getting deported. He's being charged like a local criminal. That means court dates, legal battles, and no special treatment. The moment they filed charges, deportation was put on pause. And now he has to sit in a Philippine prison until the case is fully resolved. And just when people thought he might catch a break, he actually did post bail. But here's the twist. They didn't release him. Instead, they bounced him right back to the immigration facility, still labeled an undesirable foreign national. So yes, he technically got out of jail, only to end up in another one. Not long ago, Vitaly looked like a walking supplement ad, shredded, smug, and always flexing for the camera. But when new photos dropped after his prison transfer, the internet did a double take. Gone was the pumped-up gym bro. In his place, a man who looked like he'd been fasting in a concrete box for months. His muscles, deflated. His face, hollowed. That trademark confidence, nowhere to be found. And the reason? Simple. There's no gym gear in jail. No barbells, no mirrors, no endless protein shakes. Inmates in these facilities sleep on thin mats, in overcrowded spaces where you're lucky to lie flat, let alone do a full set. And as for performance enhancers, let's just say no one's smuggling in testosterone injections. He went from stacks and supplements to plain rice and regret. Worse, rumors from inside the facility claim he's not just losing gains, he's borderline starving. Not because anyone's targeting him, but because there just isn't enough food. Filipino jails are notoriously underfunded, and someone Vitaly's size? He's not getting anywhere near the calories he used to inhale between reps. This wasn't just a physical collapse. It was a full identity crisis. The man who once walked shirtless through cities like he owned the place, now shuffles through prison yards with sunken eyes and no swagger left. Vitaly didn't just ruin his own life, he accidentally triggered a change in national policy. Thanks to him and other chaos-driven streamers, the Philippines introduced a new data privacy rule aimed directly at IRL nuisance content. And yes, this rule now carries legal consequences. The country's National Privacy Commission rolled out something called NPC Circular Number 25-1, a name that sounds like a final boss in a video game. But what it means is simple. If you're filming in public and you don't have consent, you better blur every single face in the background, or risk criminal, civil, and administrative charges. Children, elderly people, people with disabilities, doesn't matter. If they didn't agree to be part of your vlog, it's now illegal to publish their image. And it gets deeper. Content creators are now required to post clear privacy notices before recording. That means signs, disclaimers, and an explanation of what data you're collecting, all in plain language. In other words, Vitaly broke the system so hard, the government had to patch it mid-season. This isn't speculation. The commission directly cited vloggers and streamers as the reason for the new rule, specifically those who mock bystanders, chase shock value, and treat real people like background characters in their monetized chaos. Vitaly wanted to go viral. He did, but in doing so, he helped write the rulebook on what not to do. If you think Vitaly's doing time in some cushy influencer-friendly holding cell, think again. The BJMP isn't a halfway house. It's known for being overcrowded, underfunded, and brutally unforgiving. We're talking about cells packed beyond capacity, barely enough food, and zero privacy. Inmates sleep shoulder to shoulder on concrete floors. There's no Wi-Fi, no air conditioning, just heat, noise, and the reality that no one cares how many followers you have. And for someone like Vitaly, who spent years living large, flexing designer fits, traveling non-stop, partying like the rules didn't apply, this is a full-blown crash. This isn't just jail time. This is ego death. Even locals are saying it. Under the country's former president, Rodrigo Duterte, things could have gone much worse. Duterte had a reputation for cracking down hard, and many believe that if he were still in office, Vitaly might have skipped court entirely and gone straight to disappearing off the map. Some speculate he wouldn't even have made it to a trial. Others think his name would be popping up in true crime podcasts, not YouTube updates. And that's the message current leadership is sending now. Foreigners who disrespect the country's laws won't be protected. No clout armor, no influencer privileges, no second chances. In desperate times, you hope someone comes to your rescue. A country, a lawyer, a phone call. For Vitaly, no one's picking up. He begged for bail, promised to behave, swore he wouldn't flee. But the courts weren't buying it. Because he's not just a flight risk, he's a global headache. Let's start with Russia, the country he technically belongs to. Their response? They condemned him publicly. Officials straight up told their citizens, "Don't be like this guy." That's diplomat speak for, "We're not touching this." Meanwhile, the United States also passed. Vitaly isn't a citizen, just a green card holder, which means they don't owe him a single favor. And that's why the Philippines moved him out of immigration custody and into full prison. Because if either country wanted him back, he'd still be sitting in holding. But the message was loud and clear. He's your problem now. There's no passport that can save him, no embassy pulling strings. He's being processed as a local criminal, and he'll face justice exactly like everyone else in that prison, no matter how many followers he used to have. You'd think the story ends here. International embarrassment, no legal backup, stuck behind bars. But somehow, a handful of diehard fans are still convinced he's too important to stay locked up. One former fan, who Vitaly apparently ghosted years ago, is now playing unofficial hype man, pushing wild theories about international prisoner swaps and Trump stepping in because of the Nelk boys and Aiden Ross. Yes, seriously. According to him, Russia sees Vitaly as a valuable public figure and might trade a Filipino prisoner currently locked up in Russia to bring him home. Meanwhile, Trump, through some mysterious influencer friendship pipeline, might be working back channels to pull strings. Sounds like something out of a late-night Reddit thread, right? Here's the reality check. Vitaly isn't a political pawn. He's not Edward Snowden. He's not a war asset. He's a gym bro with a GoPro and a long list of bad decisions. And the saddest part? The same guy pushing this he's valuable narrative also admitted that Vitaly ignored him, refused to collab, and basically told him to kick rocks. Yet here he is, still defending him like a loyal puppy waiting for a pat on the head. That's not loyalty, that's delusion. Because at the end of the day, no one's coming. Not Russia, not the US, not Trump, not the Nelk boys, not even the guy he ghosted. Vitaly used to run the internet like it was his personal playground. Viral stunts, reckless pranks, the alpha image, it all built a persona that felt untouchable. But now, he's gone from YouTube sensation to a cautionary tale rotting in a foreign prison. No fans lining up for selfies. No brands calling for partnerships. No fast exits or influencer apologies. Just a cell, a stripped-down body, and the cold realization that clout doesn't convert into currency when the law steps in. He thought going viral was enough to make him immune. That views could buy him freedom. That controversy was just engagement. But the Philippines proved something most creators forget. A real country doesn't play by YouTube rules. Break the law, disrespect the people, exploit the culture, and no subscriber count will save you. They didn't just remove him. They erased the illusion of invincibility that so many creators hide behind. And the final irony? Yes, Vitaly did change the law, but he did it while becoming the example of what not to be. His name might go down in policy, but not in glory. He wanted to be remembered. He will be, just not the way he imagined. So yeah, Vitaly got what he wanted: attention, headlines, a viral legacy, but he also got prison food, legal charges, international rejection, and a front row seat to his own downfall. He didn't just hit rock bottom, he dug through it. Let this be a warning to every clout chaser with a camera and no conscience. The internet might reward bad behavior for a minute. But the real world, it cashes those checks in full. Vitaly's not the first to fall. And if people keep chasing fame over respect, he won't be the last. He changed the rules, but at the cost of his freedom, his image, and maybe even who he thought he was. So next time you see someone live streaming chaos, mocking strangers, or turning real people into content, remember, one law changed because of him. The next one might be named after the next fool. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay off the cringe side of YouTube. If you found this wild, comment and hit subscribe, because this is only the beginning.